What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Seth, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Shadow Hunter as well as the Shadow Hunter's gem ability, which is absolutely amazing. Seriously, it's so awesome. It's so fun. Seriously, it turns his basic attack. This is the only character that ends up getting his basic attack actually swapped out for a machine gun, which is absolutely amazing. Seriously, and for any shadow mark targets, it will actually take the shadow mark when you end up shooting them with your normal attack and cause a little bit of an explosion that damages dungeons and causes quite a bit of damage towards the enemy themselves. And that's already it, everybody, but there are a couple topics that I do want to talk about, namely the fact that everybody, and I mean everybody, on the forums for some weird reason, not that they're gonna watch this video or anything like that, but everybody on the forums just keeps saying, oh, the Shadow Hunter's ability is overpowered, it needs to be nerfed. And I'm here to tell you and confirm without a doubt that no, his ability doesn't need to be nerfed, anybody. Like, seriously, the Shadow Hunter's ability actually used to be 3 times stronger than it is now, and it went through some major nerfs within the first few days that people ended up messing with it and stuff like that. And ultimately, I'd say that it's actually at a very good spot right now, because as you can see when we're fighting groups of enemies, the Shadow Hunter does not fight groups of enemies very well. He is a single target damage character, which is what single-handedly, that's kind of like a pun. What single-handedly balances him out compared to all the other classes is the fact that while the other ranged classes ended up getting a slight AoE area of effect buff to all of their shots, meaning that you can shoot like groups of enemies with one bullet, the Shadow Hunter still only attacks one target at a time, so his crowd control is very limited. If you're fighting just one target at a time, he might actually just slightly, and I mean just slightly, oh boy, just slightly outdamage the Fey Trickster, but not by that much, especially if you have like the most optimal gear. And not to mention the fact that the Shadow Hunter, the fact that he can only fight one enemy at a time means that in a lot of ways, what damage he does over the Fey Trickster is made up for by the Fey Trickster being able to attack more than one enemy at a time. So ultimately, I'd say that this is an extremely fun skill, and it balances the Shadow Hunter because it ends up bringing him up to being a playable class. Because for those that don't know, the reason that everybody always says that the Shadow Hunter is unplayable is if you play with him for like 10 minutes, you're gonna notice that his ultimate and even his radiant arrow, they miss like 50% of the time. That's a coding error. It's got nothing to do with the abilities themselves not being particularly good. It's got to do with the fact that they just don't register. And a fun fact here is that they actually did resolve that issue with the Shadow Hunter, like on the Mantle of Power PTS server and stuff like that. And it was fantastic. But then as soon as people started complaining about his gem ability needing nerf and the devs actually nerfing it, even though they didn't really include it in the patch notes, I know that they nerfed it because I tested the numbers and you're hitting like half as much as he used to. And for some weird reason, when they ended up resolving that one issue, they ended up bringing back the same glitch that happens with his ultimate and stuff like that. But anyway, sorry about the disconnect. I'm just ran into, like, this is the 3rd time recording this video, and I've actually had, like, the game crash on me twice, and now we're disconnecting, so I figured I would just go with it, and who cares. Thanks for watching, though, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. Do not forget to Hadouken the like button, share, favorite, and subscribe to join Team Pixel. The ability doesn't need nerfed, everybody. Just because the Shadow Hunter is fun and playable does not mean that he's the strongest in the game. The Revenant is. Sign on, stay epic, everybody.